Hello everyone, it's Saturday, February 4, 2017. I'm heading to downtown El Paso. But first I stopped to McDonald's to get a little bit of breakfast, have some coffee before the film. We're going to talk about the sights, sounds, and smells of downtown El Paso. I hope you get entertained. This is for you, for all of you who want to know a little bit of history of downtown El Paso. But first, just watch me sip this coffee from McDonald's. It's pretty hot. Don't try that at home, folks. I'm here on my way to downtown El Paso. I hope you enjoy this drive. It's an awesome drive. It's a beautiful morning. So please just enjoy the sights, sounds, and smells of downtown El Paso. Just looking for parking. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We're right here in downtown El Paso. It's a nice Saturday morning, February 4th, 2017. We're right here in San Jacinto Plaza, just admiring the sights, sounds, and smells. We're over here admiring the architecture of the buildings. We're right here in downtown El Paso on San Jacinto Plaza, admiring the architecture of the buildings. As you can see right there, that's the Mills building. It was built in 1910. You have right across the street over there in the corner, that's the El Camino Real building, hotel, which was, I really don't know when it was built. Over there you have the Plaza Hotel, which was built in 1930. At the time that the Plaza Hotel was built, it was actually a Hilton Hotel. That was the 8th Hilton Hotel in the chain of the Hilton Hotels. The building across the street with that beautiful architecture over there, that building used to be a federal building, also built in 1910. And this building across the street right here is kind of hidden by the trees. It was built in 1910 as well. Now this building used to be named Banner and Roberts Building. You know, all these buildings right here are over 100 years old. It's part of the facade of downtown El Paso. Very beautiful buildings. So come and join us. This is downtown El Paso back in the early 1900s, maybe 1800s. Again, we're over here in downtown El Paso. This is my boy John.
How you doing?
Johnny Roscoe. Right here, just pretty much admiring the weather. It's very nice right now. It's only about maybe 50 degrees. It's February 4th, 2017. Just walking at the fully renovated San Jacinto Plaza. Took $5.3 million to renovate. The money came from a quality of life bond the citizens of El Paso voted back in November of 2012. You know, pretty much part of a project where investors, the city council, trying to revitalize downtown El Paso. Hopefully that, you know, that happens. You know, you have this building across the street, which they tore down. Let me show you. That building across the street, when they tore down that building right there in the corner, they found all those old advertisements that were painted on the wall of that current building where it says 204. I think that's pretty much history that's been lost in El Paso that people don't know about. Like, for example, back in 1881 through the early 1910s, this little area right here used to be part of Chinatown. Yes, El Paso had a Chinatown. You know, from the research that I gathered, the area of Chinatown used to be from Main Street all the way to Stanton Street, down to 4th Avenue, all the way to El Paso Street. And that was pretty much the boundaries of Chinatown. I don't know if Chinatown was an actual official name of this area, or it was just called Chinatown because of the big concentration of Chinese laborers that lived in this area that were pretty much labored in the construction of the railroad here in El Paso. Like most immigrants at the time, just like today, they endured discrimination, racism, inequality. You know, they labored in jobs like cooks, waiters, laundry service. You know, but most of the Chinese laborers here in El Paso pretty much worked in the construction of the railroad. Now, prior to 1910, Chinatown kind of pretty much went away. The immigrants went away, Chinese immigrants. Some went to Juarez, some probably went back to either China or maybe to California. At the time, California had a huge Chinese immigration labor, you know, for the construction of the railroad in California, you know, for San Jacinto Plaza, just fully renovated, $5.3 million. You know, at the time, the history of San Jacinto Plaza goes way back to 1820. You know, when Juan Maria Ponce de Leon owned much of this land of San Jacinto Plaza. He owned most of the land surrounding El Paso. A lot of these buildings weren't here. Actually, none of these buildings were here. All this land right here was a ranch, which was owned by Juan Maria Ponce de Leon, who was a prominent figure in El Paso del Norte. Paso del Norte is the now known city of Ciudad Juarez, across the border of El Paso, across the border of Texas, across the border of New Mexico. Again, we're here in downtown El Paso. We're here in San Jacinto Plaza, admiring the sights, sounds, and smells of the alligators. Actually, they're fake alligators, a statue in memory of the alligators that used to be actually in a pond right here, back since 1883, you know, for the entertainment of the El Paso citizens. You know, I said earlier that Juan Maria Ponce de Leon used to own all this land right here. It was his ranch. The site of San Jacinto Plaza right here used to be the corral for his horses. You know, in the summer of 1849, Juan Maria Ponce de Leon sold his land to Benjamin Franklin Coons. Now, Benjamin Franklin Coons, the Franklin Mountains are named after Benjamin Franklin Coons. He owned this area in 1849. You know, the U.S. Army came to this area and they leased the land from Benjamin Franklin Coons for a post. Pretty much they leased the area of San Jacinto Plaza to build a post for the U.S. cavalry. You know, and when they left, Benjamin Franklin Coons did not have the money to give the payments for the land. So Juan Maria Ponce de Leon pretty much repossessed it again. And in 1852, Juan Maria Ponce de Leon died. In 1853, Juan Maria Ponce de Leon's wife sold the land to William T. Smith. William T. Smith is also, or was also, a rancher at the time. He used this land for his ranch. Now in 1883, the El Paso Commission built San Jacinto Plaza, cleared this land, and built San Jacinto Plaza. It did not look like this today. I mean, not back then. You had the pond in the middle with alligators. They planted about maybe 71 through 73 Chinese elm trees around San Jacinto Plaza. Pretty much, it was just like a downtown little park for people to walk, admire the sights of downtown. This is a picture of San Jacinto Plaza back in 1902. It looked very different from today. And also, this is a picture of San Jacinto Plaza in the 1920s with the alligators in the pond. Hey, yo, John, so do you have any memories coming downtown, you know, with your parents when you were little? Or, I mean, where are you from, El Paso? I've known you for a long time, but I don't know if you're from here.
Well, yeah, actually I was born and raised here, but I don't really remember coming down here, but I remember them telling me about they used to have actually live alligators down here. And one of the stories they would tell me is that when they had alligators down here, all of a sudden the alligators would disappear, and everybody would have like crocodile or alligator belts and boots. And they figured out that they would take them and you know, do what they do with them. That's one of the things I remember about it.
See, I'm not from El Paso. I moved here when I was 21, so a lot of this stuff, when I started getting interested in the history of El Paso was when one time I went to an El Paso ghost tour, which was pretty cool. I'm not going to talk much about El Paso ghost tour, but if you're interested, go to elpasoghosttours.com and you'll find out great information. Those guys are really good at what they do. They pretty much do paranormal investigations here in downtown El Paso, which is a tour on Friday nights, 8:30. Just check it out, check out their website. And these guys, they pretty much know a lot of history of downtown. You know, that's when I got interested in the history of downtown El Paso. Downtown El Paso has a lot of rich history. This is actually the first time that I come here, dude. Like, I've never been, I mean, I always drive through here, but I've never actually walked the San Jacinto Plaza, and I never came here when before the renovation. You know, I knew that there were alligators at one point, but I don't know when when they took the alligators away. From what I understand, there were people that would pretty much torture them at night. So like in the morning, there would be an alligator with one eye, you know, one of them was stabbed. So I think that's the reason why they took away the alligators, because they weren't fenced. They were just surrounded by the decor like that you saw previously in the clip. Again, we're here in San Jacinto Plaza. I'm right here with my boy John, you know, just walking around El Paso, pretty much just San Jacinto Plaza, talking about the history. You know, right now we're walking around and we saw a plaque that I guess during the renovation they installed. So we're gonna go check it out, see what it says. I think it talks about a little bit of history of the San Jacinto Plaza and this area of El Paso. So I'll just pretty much read it to you guys, you know, and later we're gonna walk to the Plaza Hotel. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of a brief history of the Plaza Hotel. Beautiful building, beautiful art decor. It was designed by Trust and Trust architectural firm, you know, so come take a tour. I was talking about what it says right there. It says first encounter between President William H. Taft and President Porfirio Diaz. It's also in Spanish. Primer encuentro entre el presidente Porfirio Diaz y el presidente William H. Taft. Pretty much what it says is the Consulate General of Mexico in the city of El Paso commemorate the historic meeting of William H. Taft, President of the United States, and Porfirio Diaz, President of Mexico, which took place in 1909. The Presidents Taft Diaz met on October 16, 1909 in El Paso, Texas, where they discussed future diplomatic relations between both countries. After their conversation, the presidents crossed the International Bridge and attended a reception at the Customs House in Ciudad Juarez. The Taft-Diaz meeting was the first time in history in which presidents from both nations met, signaled a new direction in the relationship between Mexico and the United States. El Paso, Texas, January 11, el Consulado General de Mexico y la Ciudad de El Paso, Texas. Pretty much this side says the same thing but in Spanish, so I'm not going to read it. I don't know, there's a little plaque right there. I don't know if they reused it. Maybe you can go check it out. But from what I understand, when they took out the alligators, I guess someone built, I think I read of the name of the person that designed this alligator statue, but I don't know if it's the original statue they had back then or it's a new one. I'm assuming it's the original.
Yeah, it looks
because I've seen it in pictures, you know.
Like the marble looks kind of...
One thing I forgot to mention, this little area was also known as Plaza de los Lagartos. I really don't know if that was the actual name of San Jacinto Plaza or it was just like a nickname that they gave this place. I don't know if it's an official name, you know, but also, it was also known as Plaza de los Lagartos. I think there's a lot of people here in El Paso that are born and raised here that still consider it as Plaza de los Lagartos. I've always known it to be as San Jacinto Plaza. We're still here downtown admiring the sights, sounds, and smells. Beautiful Saturday morning, February 4th, 2017. You know, starting to pick up. There's people walking around the plaza, you know, just admiring the sights. You know, it's a beautiful Saturday morning, and we're gonna head over to the Plaza Hotel. I'm right here with my friend Lizard. Sorry, his name is John. I call him Lizard. Pretty much walking down San Jacinto Plaza. Now, pretty much, just imagine back in the 1820s, 1830s, all the way to the early 1900s, how downtown El Paso used to look like, especially prior to 1900. None of these buildings were here. Some buildings on San Antonio Street were there since the late 1800s. And actually, we're going to the Plaza Hotel right now. The Plaza Hotel was actually built on the site of the Sheldon Hotel. You know, Sheldon Hotel was built in 1888. You know, it was the unofficial meeting place for Mexican revolutionaries during the Mexican Revolutionary War. In 1929, the Sheldon Hotel burned. You know, it was destroyed by fire. So Conrad Hilton built the Hilton Hotel, which is now known as the Plaza Hotel. At the time of its construction in 1930, the Hilton Hotel, which is now the Plaza Hotel, was the 8th Hilton Hotel in the chain of Hilton hotels back in the 1930s. Currently, the Plaza Hotel is vacant. You know, it pretty much ran as a hotel since 1991. You know, the current owner has to go from City Council to renovate, refurbish the hotel. From what I understand, he wants to make fancy lofts inside the Plaza Hotel, which I hope he does. I wouldn't mind living there. I heard it's really nice. You know, I love the architecture of the Plaza Hotel, the Art Decor, pretty much designed by Trust and Trust architectural firm. You know, very beautiful hotel. Look at the first 2 floors, actually the first 3 floors. The beautiful architecture, you don't see that anymore. You know, across the street in that corner, that's at El Camino Real, you know, which is still currently a running hotel. You know, during the ghost tours, we were told that that place is haunted. I've always wanted to do a paranormal investigation in the Camino Real. I also heard that the Plaza Hotel is also haunted, you know, but currently it is vacant. I don't think the owner allows anybody to go inside. The first 2 floors are actually still used as offices. You know, and for a lot of people that don't know, the Plaza Hotel, or the Hilton Hotel at the time, you know, had his very first kindergarten class in the whole state of Texas. We're here at the Plaza Hotel, the first floor. We're in the corner of North Oregon Street and Mills Drive. Pretty much right here at the Plaza Hotel, in the windows, they have pictures of how El Paso downtown used to look like back then. You know, I wish there was a time machine where I can go check this stuff out. You know, but if you have the time, I recommend that you guys come and check it out. Look up close. Look at the roads back then. You know, I really don't know what street this is. Right here it says El Paso Street viewed from Pioneer Plaza circa 1886, courtesy of El Paso County Historical Society. We have all these old buildings here. A lot of these buildings do not exist anymore. They've been demolitioned. Honestly wished that they were still here. The architecture is very beautiful. You know, you don't see that kind of architecture anymore. You know, the history that was lost by demolishing these buildings, a lot of history. El Paso downtown has lots of history. Check this building out right here. This is the First National Bank, El Paso, circa 1905. Erected in 1882, this was one of the last Victorian-era wooden buildings surviving in downtown El Paso. The rusticated stone at ground level and the upper story, with its French-style dormer windows and Italian Renaissance accents. You have another building, the Hotel Orndorff. The lot beneath this hotel was purchased in 1881 by Francis W. Parker, the first photographer to establish a studio in El Paso. Well, right here in the very front of the Plaza Hotel, as you can see, there's a statue of Fray Garcia de San Francisco. I don't know if you can see the Plaza Hotel, this video right here. I'm going to try to pan it out a little bit. You know, across the street over here, you have the Plaza Theater, you know, which is still active. You can see a lot of Broadway shows like Wicked. I heard Phantom of the Opera is coming in May. Also Lion King Broadway show is coming. I don't know if it's next year or this year. Across the street right here in the corner, you have El Camino Real, which is still an existing hotel right now, which at the time, during the Mexican Revolution, you know, they would say that a lot of people that lived in El Paso, like the residents, would actually go to they have like a little courtyard on top of the plaza of the Camino Real Hotel, and that they would actually see the battles in the Mexican Revolution across the border from the hotel. You know, well, it's a beautiful Saturday morning, February 4th, 2017. We're happy that you came. We're happy that you took a tour with us. You walked with us. You drove with us. You took an adventure with us. You took a journey with us and discovered the sights, sounds, and smells of downtown El Paso. Thank you, everyone.